All right, all right, all right. So I am so glad you're here with me this morning. Yesterday we talked about NAT. Today we're going to talk about remote access services, specifically the 8 protocols you need to know for the test, all right? So what do I mean when I talk about remote access services? I'm talking about using VPN or dial-up to access the network from a remote location. So I'm talking about teleworkers, people that are on the road, maybe they're working from a hotel, or they're working from home, or they're working from an alternate business site, and they need access to the LAN. They need to connect to a remote access service. And usually what will happen is they'll have to authenticate using a username and password, and then they'll be authorized based on their role in the company to access certain resources on the LAN. But in order for this sort of authentication to happen, there's 8 different protocols that the user can use. And I just need to go through those, and you need to know these for the test, all right? So hopefully I won't go too fast, but try to stick with me, all right? So the first one is PAP, and don't worry, I'll explain all these acronyms in a moment. There's PAP, there is CHAP, there is MS-CHAP, there's MS-CHAP v2, then there's radius, diameter, XTACACS, and then TACACS plus. So PAP is the password authentication protocol. Nobody uses it because it sends passwords in the clear. That's right, it's unencrypted, bad. Okay, so it's still here though because it's on the test, you need to know about it. It uses the point-to-point protocol for transport. Now, the next one is, what did I say what the next one was? So we talk about PAP, now we have CHAP, a Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. Just think about chapstick. I probably need some chapstick right now. No, I don't. But anyway, CHAP is all about more security. That's because the password never hits the wire. With CHAP, the Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol, the client authenticates to the server replies with a challenge, which is a nonce. It's basically a random bit of text. It's called also called a salt. But not assault, but salt, S-A-L-T. And so this salt, this random string of text, the server provides to the client. The client then takes that nonce, augments a password that it knows with the server. So both the server and the client have a shared secret. No one knows it except those two. And the client basically takes this nonce from the server, adds it to the shared secret, and then hashes the entire thing and sends the hash across the wire. And that's why it's more secure, because only the hash is potentially exposed to an attacker, not the password itself. Now, the Microsoft, the MS-CHAP, man, I'm out of it today. MS-CHAP is Microsoft's version of CHAP. It's not really used, it's really old, and it's just not used. But you still need to know that it's there. MS-CHAP v2 is better because it is Microsoft's take on CHAP, but it also includes mutual authentication. So instead of the client authenticating to the server only, the server also authenticates to the client. Now think about this for a second. Why is it a good idea? Why is it good that the server can authenticate to the client? I'll let you think about that for a moment. Don't worry, I'll be here. You got it? Okay. It's good because it can prevent an attacker from impersonating the server, right? So it gives the client confidence that it's connecting to a real remote access service and not an attacker masquerading as a real access service. All right, and where are we next? So we've got those. We also have Radius. And Radius is the Remote Authentication Dialing User Service. This is where you can aggregate multiple remote access services and forward all those log events and all that data into one central location. So if you have a remote access service in Atlanta, you have a remote access service in Los Angeles, one in Washington, D.C., one in New York, you can have all this data funneling into one Radius. And it simplifies the whole process of management. Because think about it, each of those remote access services probably has a database. They probably have, they probably need to be maintained. But if you have it all going into one place, you can kind of cure that problem. Now, the good thing about Radius is open source, and it also, it actually encrypts the password. Now, XTACACS is Cisco's proprietary version of Radius. It's really old, nobody uses it. The X stands for extensible. You just need to know about it for the test that it exists. TACACS Plus, the Terminal Access Service, these acronyms are hard. Terminal Access Controller Access Control Service Plus, TACACS Plus, is Cisco's proprietary version, and this will actually encrypt the entire authentication process from start to finish. It is also compatible with Kerberos, and if you're a WinAdmin or a sysadmin, you know that Kerberos is a it's a magic word for Active Directory. And so it works very well with Microsoft Active Directory environments, which is one of the reasons why people like to use it. And so that's also a plus. Did I cover everything? So we talked about PAP, we talked about CHAP, MS-CHAP, MS-CHAP v2, Radius. Diameter is the better version of Radius. It will actually, the reason it's called Diameter is because it's supposed to be twice as good. All you math geeks out there can get a laugh out of that one. It's really called Diameter, I didn't make that up. And it's good because it uses the Extensible Authentication Protocol, EAP. And then XTACACS, I talked about that, and then TACACS Plus. So I just want to finish up just by saying that TACACS Plus and Radius are known as AAA services. So the AAA has nothing to do with like getting your car towed or anything like that, or for Alcoholics Anonymous or anything like that. AAA just refers to authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication, tell me who you are. Authorization, this is what you can do based on who you are. And accounting, I'm going to watch everything you do on the network. I'm going to log it. And so those are the things you need to know for the test. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, we are going to talk about network access control and telephony. And make sure you thumb this video up. Hit that subscribe button because I love those subscribes. And I'm going to make sure you pass this test. I really want you to nail it. And that's why I'm doing these videos for you, all right? So leave a comment. I'm going to jump in the comments. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Don't forget to subscribe, right? I'm watching. Just click the button. Okay? All right, see ya.